I just want the mobile phone to be away from your desks, all of you. In the pocket, please. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And welcome to phase 3. It's a new dimension of your learning which will happen for another 2.5 years, inshallah. It's a transition time actually. This semester is a transition in which you are shifting from more basic to relatively more clinical, inshallah. So in the same way, in anticipation, you have to think clinically as well. This is very important. So please, you have to modify your behaviors in learning also. So it's no more basic. The expectations will change. The teaching will also change. You will have some challenges also. Okay? You will not be spoon-fed like before. You will have some troubles also. You have to be a better self-learner here in this phase. But this is the struggling time and deciding time. From the next semester onwards, inshallah, you will be transformed into a clinical student. More time in hospitals as compared to now or before. And definitely, your learning will change. You will reflect, inshallah. It will happen. But this is the first phase here. The first block, psychiatry block, which has just started. It's the second day. So, you need to shift the gears, please, from now. It is very important. Don't stay in the same gears as you were before. Be careful. It's a little basic. It's a very basic touch to some aspects of psychiatry, and it's all clinical really. You'll learn different things in this block, which is something very new, okay? About the educational theories, psychiatric concepts, and you'll learn about the disorders as well, the psychiatric disorders. The teaching may be different really, okay? Don't expect that you'll have the same teaching like anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, microbiology, which was kind of known to you. This teaching will be different. The people coming will be different. Their output, their expression is different, and you have to adjust with all these things, okay? So be careful, right? Keep your expectations flexible. You have to make yourself flexible from now. It is very, very important. Okay? Responsibilities are changing. In the hospital, you will not get enough support, as we know. Okay? So you have to strive. You have to struggle more. Really. We'll not be meeting very much, except for some administrative problems. I'll not be coming. We'll not be having sessions. Maybe here or there in the OSCEs or some other places we'll meet, but otherwise your phase 2 is over, okay? But you are most welcome anytime. If you have any academic difficulty or administrative difficulty, you can always refer to me or come to the colleagues, inshallah, okay? So, the second day of the psychiatry, please. What happened on the first day, yesterday? There were some lectures? Yes. Okay. Was that about anatomy? Yesterday? No, it was not. Then what was it about? Psychopathology. So you started directly with the psychopathology, and that is different really, okay? So something coming very directly without really storming your brain and thinking about the basics of anatomy and physiology and pharmacology. So it means it was expected from you to know or to have a core knowledge of all these things. Alright? Still, we are touching some untouched aspects, not completely. You know about these aspects from before also because you have done CNS. So you have an idea about the limbic system also. But Dr. Majdi today gave limbic system overview to you, a short lecture telling you about functions and different parts of it. Likewise, issue of neurotransmitters is not completely new for you because you have some idea about the neurotransmitters and you have gone through some of the neurotransmitters in your previous years, in your discussions. You have discussed acetylcholine, you have talked about norepinephrine, I'm sure. You have talked about dopamine and heard about and read about it. Likewise, there are other neurotransmitters also which come into the picture. But here collectively we are just revising it to prepare you for these issues in psychiatry, because now you will deal with the neurotransmitters and their names associated with these psychiatric problems and disorders. This is the mainstay here. Okay? We are not doing the physiology of the neurotransmitters in general, because it has been dealt with already. What we are taking here is slightly different approach, is introducing the behavioral concept of the neurotransmitters. Alright? Okay, so let us get started. Nothing much for you. It's very simple. We'll just have a discussion, a little one. Okay? Just a quick review of the names of the neurotransmitters, various, we'll recollect our memories here, and nothing else. And yes, we'll talk about the different types of behavior on which we'll see the names that, okay, this neurotransmitter is affecting this kind of a behavior, and you will keep it in your memory, inshallah. And then when you study those behaviors and their behavioral problems in the psychiatry, then you will come to know that maybe the problem is the excess or the deficiency of this kind of a neurotransmitter that is producing this trouble. It could be a contributing factor to this disease, this particular issue of the psychiatry. So this is our basic idea. Okay? What is a neurotransmitter?
Chemical substance.
Yeah, author.
Chemical substance.
Chemical substance. Agree? Okay, great. Yes. What else? Chemical substance, but we are specific. Chemical substances are so many. We are trying to define neurotransmitters. Secreted. You are giving me the attributes. Okay. It is secreted. Alright. Okay. What else? From neurons, because you are using the word neurotransmitter. Okay. So neurotransmitter is a chemical substance. It is secreted by the neurons. Okay. And yes, it is not an inert substance. It does have an effect, as you are saying. But what will be the effect? And where will that be?
On the receptor.
On the receptors. And it acts on the receptors. Okay? It does not go haphazardly and is lost, but it has to find its receptors. You know that. In order to produce effect, it needs receptors. So these are some criteria. And yes, this is the breakup of definition that you have given. Okay? So it's a chemical which is released by a neuron, and it is trying to act on another neuron or a group of neurons, synaptic level. And this substance will definitely produce some kind of a physiological effect, little or more, significant or insignificant, helping or the main effect, whatever, but the effect will come. Okay? And it can affect one neuron. It can affect a muscle or a gland-like substance where the receptor is present. Released by the nerve, this is the most important thing. The next station where the receptors are present, it could be neuron, usually it is, but it could be something else also. You know that. Okay? Nothing special about it. These are the criteria which you were giving me. Look at these criteria, one by one. The first criterion is identity. What do you mean by identity? Now what do we want to say? What is the idea?
It
That's a specific.
It has a specific identity. It has a specific name. It is identified chemically. We don't say that, oh, there is some mysterious substance which is coming and producing this effect. If you don't know the substance, don't call it a neurotransmitter. When you know it, you will call it a neurotransmitter. So it has to be known, okay, by its chemical form, its chemical structure. It has to be identified. Okay? Otherwise, it will remain, mysterious in the form that you will not call it a typical neurotransmitter. You will call it some factor-like thing, or some structure, or some molecule is released, but I don't know what is that. It is doing something. Okay, so you have to identify. That is the first approach. Okay. Second thing is, if it is coming from a neuron, it's not coming out of blue, or you don't know about its source. If it is coming from the neuron, it means neuron is the factory which is making it, isn't it? So it has to be produced, synthesized, manufactured by the neuron. Okay? The second thing. So synthesis is also known, steps of synthesis, area of storage inside neuron, you know all about it. Okay? You also know one more phenomenon, that after being synthesized and stored, for producing the action, for producing some role, it should be released. You know that, okay? So release is another phenomenon that you will observe during the criteria study. Okay? And after release, you already know, you all know about, mashallah, the next station steps. And after being released, sooner or later, it has to find, it has to look for the receptors, because without receptors, it's of no use. What will it do? It is not going to be absorbed by the next neuron, and it will be metabolized there, and then it is going into the nucleus or in the cytoplasm to do something. No, it is not. You know, a neurotransmitter, when it is there, it has to stay on the surface. If it is staying on the surface, what do you think it is doing? Are we all together? No mobiles, okay? We don't want any mobile during the short talk. It's only half an hour talk. I don't want to have any mobile over the surface, please. Okay, the fifth one is, I'm not discussing the receptors today here, okay? Because all neurotransmitters that we name, they have definite receptors and subtypes of receptors also. Not all those receptors are involved in the CNS and the behavior. Some of them are. Some of the receptors are for the other organ systems. They are modules in different parts. But we are not going to discuss. Our focus is the behavioral aspect, or the mood aspects, or the emotional aspects, usually. You will see some other words also during the discussion, but our mainstay is mood and behavior. It's about the limbic system, it's about the psyche or the psychiatric issues, because we are dealing with this area. And finally, no neurotransmitter is immortal, that once it is secreted, it will stay forever, and it will be there, and it will go on and on and on and on and on. Maybe its action is taweel, it's okay, it's possible, but it has to finish. Okay, after some time, it must be, and there is a process of destroying it, or inactivating it, or removing it, or whatever, because you have to stop the physiological action. Even if the physiological action is prolonged, it may produce undesirable effects which you don't want. Okay, so it has to cut off. So this is another thing. So look at these criteria. If you are satisfying these criteria, then a substance is very well labeled as a neurotransmitter. All those things you have already told me during the discussion. Okay? Anything which is not clear or ambiguous here so far? Is it okay? Because it's very simple. This discussion is nothing new really. Yeah. The next one is neurotransmitter. We often use another word which you may be aware of, and that word is neuromodulator. Okay, now we are changing. Okay, transmitter, we all know. Properties, yes, it's with us. But now we are using the word neuromodulator. Okay, of course, it is there also in the brain and in those areas where neurotransmitters are present. And since we are using the term neuromodulator, it should mean something different really. We are not using it synonymously for the same thing. Okay? Then what should be a neuromodulator? What is your idea? Anything, your concept.
And
Yes?
change the state of the neuron
Okay.
from activation to the inhibition.
Mhm.
And it starts.
All right, okay. Abdullah is saying that neuromodulator is a substance which changes the state of a neuron by increasing its activity or decreasing its activity. So it is producing a change in the neuron. So what is your idea?
Like equivalent. It is analgesic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's blood pain,
Okay.
pain transmission.
All right. But our idea is to differentiate it from the neurotransmitter. Well, neurotransmitter is also producing a change in the neuron and it is doing its job. Then how would you differentiate really a neurotransmitter from a neuromodulator or neurotransmission from neuromodulation? Two processes, physiological processes, all right? Both are going on. Okay? And yes, I stay with Abdullah's idea, but we'd like to add few more things. What do you think? Can you add something more?
Neuromodulator involved maybe drugs or exogenous substances.
Yes, neuromodulation can be used for controlling the activity of the neurons and we use it as a part of therapy. You're right, Ram. You're right, okay? But if we go back inside our brains, our systems, and we think about our natural neuromodulators and natural neurotransmitters, of course we have natural processes going on. Then at the natural level, how would we differentiate these two things?
Transmit the signal.
For the signal transmission, you need what? Neurotransmitters. Kind of a direct effect which is going on. I'm sorry and excuse me. Give me a second. Hello?